I'm going to look to see if we have our first challenge of the ball game, and we do. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed that the ball was in his left arm. His right arm went across the line. But let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Gerald, what do you see?
I actually seen the right side of that defense actually hold up that side right there. You can see it, and allowing the linebacker to come right over the edge right there, and Dexter Jackson being able to come right in there. I think that gets overturned. Yeah, I think it's overturned. But, credit to Luther Gunn and Jeff Duffy for holding up that edge of the line.
And the ruling on the field is indeed overturned. And Fort Worth happy with that one. Atlanta not so much. We'll see if they do indeed spot it 4th and inches. And Ken Miller on to punt now, the rookie punter for the Swarm.
And I do feel like they wasted an opportunity to pick up that first down on 2nd down when they handed it to Siege Falco instead of one of the guys who are very true runners on their team.
Punt goes back to the 18-yard line, returned up to the 23-yard line. And Gerald, we mentioned it in the pregame show. Marcus Dunhill, it's his first game in Atlanta since season 14 when he won the championship as the quarterback of the Atlanta Swarm. And here he is back on the field for the first time. Marcus Dunhill under center.
MVP of that season too.
They'll start with a pitch up to the top. It's Stephen Hacker. So we've seen a couple of wide receiver runs on teams that boast 2 of the best running backs in history.
That was interesting. But look, credit to Fort Worth that picked them up, somewhere between 12 to 15 yards right there, just pitching it out to Stephen Hacker. And, now they got themselves, right near their own 40.
Ball is handed off this time to J.Z. Bacon. We'll roll through the starting offense. Dunhill is the quarterback, J.Z. Bacon the halfback. Aaron Alexander is at fullback. The wide receivers are Henry McGee, Cade Stevens, and Stephen Hacker, who moonlights as a running back on occasion. Robert Garrett Jr., the cowboy, he's the tight end, along with James Jennings, Emilio Panda, Gordo Enorme, and Frank Burks, the tackle and left and right guards. Bacon is down. Injured on the play, and the medical staff out on the field to attend to J.Z. Bacon.
Well, I guess that's why you have one of the most dependable guys start out in your backfield, I guess, in, Stephen Hacker, because now you got J.Z. Bacon goes out, but I don't think they're going to sub in Hacker in that position, the backup running back, and Ron Dane's going to have to step up.
So on 3rd down and 4, we'll see what they want to do. Dunhill will pass, deep drop, throws into double coverage, and that one is incomplete. Attempted to hit Stephen Hacker, could not haul in the pass, and this is a major storyline in this one now, Gerald, as we'll have to keep an eye out for Bacon, see if he comes back out onto the field. If not, try to get an update later on in the ball game.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting if, depending on how long he stays out, is he out for the game or is a quarter or a series or whatever, because if he doesn't come back in, it's going to be very interesting to see how this Fort Worth offense adapts to him not being in the lineup.
A pair of drives, a pair of punts. That's where we're at so far. Back during the Matt Wilson Weekly Kickoff Show, we had a super chat from Z-Bull, also known as Matt Wilson's mother. Wilson, number 12, 2nd year anniversary for Matt was on July 15th. I know he loved and respected you all so very much. Go Aztecs. $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Ball is handed off to BDG Hollywood as he picks up 2. 2nd and 8.
So, and we're going to see how they're going to handle this second drive as well, right? Because they started out on 1st down with a Bryant Dynasty kind of scramble up the middle for 9, and then they got nothing after that. So
Dynasty throws down the right side, and that one is caught. Connected with Boo. Medium rare. Chisholm himself in double coverage gets the first down.
Yeah, and that's just of, 10 to 12 yards, maybe more, that he's gotten on his way. Start of the game, he only needs 85 to get 15,000 career receiving yards.
Yeah.
That's another step in that right direction.
It sure is. I'm interested to see if he can hit that milestone this week. You were way off, by the way, 21 yards.
Yeah, I had bad math.
Yeah, that's why you're not tracking the stats tonight. We got the Ron Haynes and the Rochelle Colston.
Top notch.
Top notch.
Top notch.
Only the finest for the Friday night kickoff game.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
Maybe we can give him some food. Of all the great food we've had on broadcast nights, chefs are amazing.
Well, yeah.
We have our own chefs.
We do.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Dynasty hands it off to Hollywood. Oh, Dexter Jackson gets him in the backfield. He got away from Mexico City, signed with division rival Fort Worth, and gets himself a 3-yard tackle for a loss. I miss you, Dexter. Why you gotta do me like that, man? Anyway, 4 wide receivers set on 3rd down and 9. Dynasty to throw under pressure. Gets downfield, tried to hit medium rare Chisholm again. Can't connect this time, and another drive will end in a punt.
Yeah, and that was, look, and Boo Chisholm actually climbed the ladder and was able to get his hands on it, skied above everybody else, just wasn't able to pull it down. Maybe Dynasty put a little bit too much heat on it.
It was flying.
Oh, yeah.
He was trying to get rid of that ball quick. Ken Miller punts this one away. Ball will come down at about the 18-yard line. Returned up to the 20. If you are new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Why is it never too late? Because we never stop doing games. We have the Major League. As soon as we hit the playoffs, we start the minor league back up, and then we have a little brief offseason. Back at it we go. Anyway, Dunhill over the middle. That one is incomplete. Pass was well defended by Bernard Smith, and with that, we'll roll through the starting defense for Atlanta. On the defensive line, Wolf Highwind, Aiden Texiera, and Big Sexy himself coming over from Florida. 16 seasons in the league, and now he's with Atlanta, Alex Dominguez.
I feel like that's just wrong.
Something's
wrong with that.
Where's the baby blue? Oh, wow. Nice screenplay there. Aaron Alexander picking it up, getting a 3rd down and 1 after a gain of 9. At linebacker, you got Bernard Smith, Jeff Spicoli, and Grandpa Aquantis Shine. At corner, Nathan Barnett and Jay Miraculous. And safeties, Moose Papineau, Grant Hardaway, and Chris Henry. And down in one. Oh, bottled up in the backfield, and another tackle for a loss, this time from the Atlanta Swarm, and Grandpa Shine himself still getting it done in his ripe old age.
And he's looking right at it and seeing that Jay-Z Bacon is not in the backfield, and he's like, there's going to be nothing but a feast fest for him and his linebacking core. I mean, if Jay-Z Bacon does not come back in the game, I really do think we can see a lot more of tackle for losses from Aquana Shine and Bernard Smith this game.
Punishing tackle on special teams as Siege Falco gets knocked down at his own 39-yard line. Matt Wilhelm, the linebacker on special teams, with the TFL after the punt from Amelia Rose. Bryant Dynasty back out onto the field now for his 3rd drive of the ball game. First one was a 3-and-out. Finally got a first down on drive number 2, but the drive stalled out. Currently only 1 of 2 on passing. Make that 2 of 3 as he connects with Fox Highwind, who rejoins the team.
Yeah, and what a quick pass right there by Bryant Dynasty. Found a little bitty opening just behind the corner, right in front of the safety, and is able to fit it right into Fox Highwind and do it. One thing I'm seeing on the defensive front for Fort Worth so far on every play, Luther Gond is finding his way into the backfield pretty often, so that's going to be a matchup to watch him against that left guard of the offense.
Quick pass by Dynasty to Chisholm. And that one's caught as he picks up another good chunky yards down the left-hand side. And so far in this one, Gerald, it's looking like he just might cross that 15,000-yard milestone.
Right, and it's like at this pace, he's going to get it no matter what. And guess what Bryant Dynasty did right there? Dropped back, didn't take too long, had a very quick release, and seeing that, hey, the corners were playing way off, and threw it a little bit early to make sure Boot Chisholm had a free area to catch the ball.
Dynasty to Hollywood. Hollywood picks up 5. Second down, in pregame prep, looking at Boot Chisholm's numbers. You see he's number 3 all-time in receiving yards. I think obviously everybody and their mama knows who's number 1 in receiving. DR Sim.
DR Sim,
yeah, he's
doctor.
got like 8 billion yards, I think, on his career, somewhere around there. Number 2.
Nobody's catching that guy. And seeing him at the convention, in extremely great shape.
Yeah.
Looks like he'd never missed a beat. I don't think he's ever going to come off the field.
Probably not. No, he's immortal, like my pet turtle, but that's a totally random off-topic thing. Siege Falco with his second carry of the ball game. That one goes for no gain. Number 2 in receiving. Who do you think's number 2 all-time in receiving? I'll give you a hint. It's not tight end Mike Daggs.
Of course. I'm going to just guess. Maybe it's Tiberius Bovine.
Recently inducted Hall of Famer.
Tiberius Bovine?
Brett Killian, number 2 all-time in receiving yards with 16,681 receiving yards. So, yeah, very impressive career for him. So, yeah, even if Chisholm does manage to cross that 15,000-yard threshold, he's still got a way to go to catch Killian, and Killian's still catching passes. So it's going to be a while. But over 1,000 receptions on Chisholm's career as this field goal is through. Atlanta's able to finally strike first. 6 plays, 31 yards, getting some points on the board. Boot Chisholm over 1,000 receptions, almost 15,000 yards. He's got a nice round 100 touchdowns. And long field goal there, 46 yards. Atlanta getting some points.
Yeah, and that's them being able to get themselves in pretty good position, playing the field position game with a lot of punts happening early on in this first quarter, and they were able to play the field position game and get themselves a little bit closer, where they only had to get about 30 yards to get themselves in the field goal range, and being able to put some points on the board on this undefeated Fort Worth team.
Sammy Steele now a perfect 6 of 6 on the season. Fort Worth wide receiver Henry McGee on the return that time. He played in Atlanta as a rookie last season. Now over here in Fort Worth. One of the interesting aspects of the SFL, every contract is a 1-season contract. So, whether you're drafted or you sign as a free agent, you can feel free to move about the country or continent or really world.
Or you can be like a turncoat and just turn the back on the team that drafted you, or you played with multiple seasons.
Well, a little salt there, I think.
No, none.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah,
none.
Yeah, man. How'd you feel about that Jerry D. Gahn pick 6? He used to play for your team, didn't he?
No, Luther Gahn.
Luther Gahn did. Yeah, but he's also here tonight.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete.
I knew one of the Gahns played for you.
Yeah.
I was just trying to rub salt in your wound. Dunhill throws over the middle, and that one is caught by James Jennings, the 6'6", second season tight end. Gets the pass, gets the first down.
And they're moving the ball, right? They got a first down now, and they still don't have J.Z. Bacon back into the game. So it might be on the back of Dunhill to try and make something more happen in the passing game.
Short drop by Dunhill. Out route up top to Cade Stevens is caught. 2-yard pickup. Natsom with a second down and 8. Shout out to those of you joining us in the chat tonight. Got Fox Highwind, Joshua Durr, Moose Papanow, Guy Clausen. I could just start with him, whether I even see his name there or not. He's here for every game we have ever called. Mark Lopez, BJ Loveless, Grant Hardaway, Dexter Jackson. Is that Mike in the booth? It is Mike in the booth, Mr. Dexter Jackson.
He misses you.
Oh, dearly. Dunhill over the middle. Don't hold a grudge. I don't hold a grudge. I just hope you lose every game you play. It's not the same thing. I'm kidding. 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Toros. Kind of. I'm kidding.
What a play on that last play by Grandpa Shine, knocking the ball out of Stephen Hacker's hands, by the way.
I apologize. I got distracted.
I get distracted all the time.
3 receivers up top. Dunhill looks, fires down to the bottom, and that one's nearly taken away. Nathan Barnett had his hands on that one, and Gerald He would have gone to the house. Couldn't quite haul it in, but he will force a Fort Worth punt as they're still backed up to their own 36-yard line.
Now we can see why Atlanta went out and pried Alex Dominguez from Florida, because he put a spin move on that left guard on the offensive side and was starting to apply pressure on Marcus Dunhill, and he's like, I'm not having none of that. Threw a little bit too early, and Nathan Barnett missed an opportunity because they could have flipped this game on its head and with a pick six.
Kick returned up to the 26-yard line, and that is where Atlanta will once again take to the field, currently leading in this one 3-0 with about a minute to go in the first quarter. A note from Mark Lopez. Brett Killian, he is actually under contract with Vancouver to catch 500,000 yards before he's allowed to officially retire. So he should be playing for the next 376 seasons, I think. At least, actually, that math doesn't even work. He would have to play for...
I don't know if I can count that high.
No, once you hit 10, you got to take your socks off, and I'd prefer you don't in the booth. Oh, that was mean. Why? Anyway, 2-yard pickup. Haven't really seen much from the run game out of either of these teams yet. Leading runner in the game, Stephen Hacker, with 2 rushes. Obviously, we've only seen 2 runs from J.Z. Bacon out of Fort Worth before he went down with an injury. Waiting to see if he comes back, and that's Jonathan Reese, the backup in Atlanta, with his first touch of the ball game, 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and it seemed like, these 2 squads, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Decided to spend the money on, different areas of their squad. They didn't invest in a number 2 running back, and we're going to see how this is going to affect them right here.
Dynasty rolls out left, throws double coverage once again. Gerald, I think I've said it every play this game. It seems every pass is double coverage.
Yeah, look, and I didn't expect that this defense to be, this game to be so defensive, minded in the way that the defense are playing pretty dominant football on both sides here. Right, here we are about to end the first quarter in roughly 18 seconds, and the score is only 3-0 in favor of Atlanta.
Punt drops down at the 31. Oh, another brutal hit. Bernard Smith on special teams gets the tackle. Fort Worth takes over at the 33, and so far still no sightings of J.Z. Bacon.
What are we going to do? We know Marcus Dunhill can actually run the ball a little bit. He's shown his wheels against Mexico City, and actually it was a perfect time in that game, by the way, for them. But
yeah, it's hilarious. Dunhill almost throws another pick, and then it's almost caught. Defender had his hands on it, and then the receiver almost hauled it in anyway.
Grant Hardaway, it almost seemed like it was something similar to what they thrown at the end of their last drive right there. Threw it to the bottom side right here, the bottom side of the camera, to the left side of that offense, and they had a DB right there. And that time it was Grant Hardaway being in the way and nearly picked it off.
Dunhill over the middle. He finds the Cowboy. Robert Garrett Jr. getting his first touch. It'll set up Fort Worth with 3rd and 2, but that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Only 3-0 here in Atlanta as we get an update on the status of J.Z. Bacon. He has knee tendonitis, and he is out for the rest of the game. That could spell disaster.
Is tendonitis something that's serious?
It's serious enough to keep him out the rest of the game. You just want to give him pickle juice and orange slices?
Yes.
I know.
Where's the SFL doctor when you need him? It makes people come back to serious injuries really fast.
Well,
they need a day to
week.
They need a day to make that concoction, I guess.
To whip up the pickle juice and orange slices. cortisone shot, says Rochelle Colston. Just put it in them and have them run. I don't know. Well, we're going to see some Aaron Alexander with some touches. Probably you'll see more of Stephen Hacker out of the backfield. But, yeah, it's definitely going to make the run game tough for Fort Worth, as we just saw another punt situation being forced.
Yeah, and that's and that's where it comes into play when you have an injury like that, right? And you're actually light in depth on your team. It could come back to hurt you, and you're going to have to depend on other areas of your squad to actually pick it up. Now, it depends on, how they're going to do it. Are they going to adjust and say, hey, we need to throw more? Or are they going to say, hey, look, we need Stephen Hacker in the backfield a little bit more as well to be able to get him some touches, because he is healthy and able to do it, because he's shown already he is, the leading rusher out of both teams. He got 22 yards when nobody else has over 10 right now. So, you know what I mean? So Stephen Hacker has, if you combine, he's got almost half of the combined rushing yards between the two teams.
So you see the team stat comparison so far in this one. Dynasty leveled as he threw. He's lucky to even get that one away, Gerald. He just ate a Toro.
I do believe that was... I don't know if that was Luther Gond or not. It came in there so fast, but that was such a rush. And on Dynasty real quick. It sure was.
Yeah, and it looked painful. Split backs now in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Pretty sure Gond came through completely untouched. Man, run game is just not a thing tonight. As BDG Hollywood wrapped up for no gain on the play, and Ryan Long subbing in to get the tackle. 3rd and 8.
And that was actually created right off the edge by Jerry D getting in there and trying to, spinning around the offensive lineman and getting a hold of the running back's ankles.
Empty backfield now for Atlanta. Dynasty rolls out left, rolls back towards his own end zone, throws deep down the field, and that one's incomplete. Delaney Nash on the coverage, the season 21 MVP, gets the stop.
They had so much stuff happening on that play from a defensive perspective right there. They had linemen crossing and switching and coming around all around, and Dynasty had nowhere to go with the ball and just tried to throw it deep to Boot Chisholm, and it wasn't meant to be. Knocked down to the turf.
Ken Miller punts. Ball taken at the 42 by former Atlanta Swarm member Henry McGee. And we'll see what the Toros can do this time. It's been a if you love punting, then you love this Friday night game.
Where's Marcus Agrippa? He's a guy that a gazillion all-star punter.
Yeah, he loves kicking the ball.
Yeah,
it's his way.
And all we've had was kicks. The end of every drive has ended in a kick, if you think about it.
Some sort of kick, whether it was dropped onto a foot or held on the ground and booted off the grass. Every drive has ended in some form of kicking. That is indeed why they call it football. The feet are involved, that's all I'm saying.
Not 100% of the time is the other football. The European football, soccer.
Sure. Well, they call this football americano down in Mexico City. Longest drive so far tonight, only 21 yards. That was the scoring drive by Atlanta where they kicked a field goal. 1 yard pickup that time, and brings up 3rd and 2.
So, or we can call American football, or football americano as you call it, rugby plus.
Football de americano if you want to be specific.
Rugby plus, let's go with that.
Damon Simeon joining us now in the chat. Hi, Damon. First down is achieved. Ron Dane picks it up.
Right, and the backup actually gets some production on a 3rd and short when they have struggled to pick up any yardage on any down with anybody other than Stephen Hacker, and Ron Dane comes in the clutch.
Aaron Alexander runs up the middle, wrapped up by the Moose. And no, we're not talking about Jason France. We're talking about the guy actually named Moose. Who's Papano.
Papano.
Say.
The moose is loose.
2nd down and 6.
Oh, King Henry.
Yeah, Ron Dane didn't stand a chance that time. King Henry gets the big TFL.
Guy coming right off the edge and just blew it up. And it's mind-boggling to me that Fort Worth is coming out in like a power-type run style, not having their star running back in the backfield.
Dunhill in the gun on 3rd and long. Goes up top and hit his receiver in the hands. And that's a rare miss by Robert Garrett Jr., the 6'7" tight end. He's a 4-time All-Star, Gerald. He almost always hauls in those contested throws. Can't get that one in. Once again, Amelia Rose on to punt.
Yeah, and this is not how Fort Worth seen this going. I think they're missing J.Z. Bacon a lot more than what they really care to admit right now. But they're going to have to adapt and have someone step up.
Well, and to a point that you made earlier on, you know, it comes down to depth. I mean, it's a very talented Fort Worth roster when you look at the starters. But if you lose a starter on this particular roster, it can spell disaster because there's not a lot of depth behind that starting group. And, J.Z. Bacon goes down and, no offense to Mr. Ron Dane, not to be confused with Ron Haynes, but he's not quite the caliber of a Jay-Z.
No, they don't. They pay you in food to show up as a backup.
Yeah,
we will feed you. We need you off the street, so we will feed you. You will get a meal.
Yeah.
If in the case that someone gets hurt, you step in.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been productive at all.
Not quite so much yet.
Maybe he's negotiating more food.
Dynasty to throw. Single coverage this time up top, and Dynasty takes advantage of it as Siege Falco able to get his first catch of the ball game. We've already seen him with a couple of carries, but that catch good for 9. 3rd down and 1.
And the way both of these squads are actually kind of putting a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterback is pretty, surprising because they feel like they have to get the ball out like extra quick.
Dynasty moves Aralette down to the bottom. Single coverage, but they'll go with the pitch to Siege Falco, and he is hit in the backfield for the loss. Adam Leach gets the stop.
The way the linebackers played that, I do believe it may have been Sonny Sky chasing him down on that edge. I could be wrong, but, chasing him down and all of a sudden just hitting him and not letting him get anywhere.
These both of these quarterbacks struggling, Gerald, in their last 10 passing attempts, both of them 4 and 10, no touchdowns, no picks either. It's been a clean game turnover-wise. Broadcaster curse coming up, but so far we're pretty consistent on the every drive ending in a kick of some kind.
Yeah, I want it to keep ending in kicks. This will be a very entertaining game. Might be for me, but I don't care what everybody else wants. I want what I want. So if we have nothing but kicks all game long, this will be very interesting.
Well, we'll see. Dunhill goes up top. That one's nearly taken away again. Nathan Barnett, second time he's almost had a pick six, Gerald. As we are up to, 11 punts on the night. So over-under on punts, I'll set it at 22.
I'm ambitious. Let's go over.
Over.
I say
you think
over.
We're going to more than double it?
Because I want it.
Interesting. Dunhill rolls out left, throws over the middle. Single coverage, can't haul it in. Henry McGee unable to hit the catch. 3rd and 10.
And this is not. These are the 2 of the top 3 passers in the league, and they're not completing a whole lot of passes. It's pretty surprising right now.
Dunhill 4 of 12, 33% completion percentage over the middle, incomplete once again, and 12th punt coming up.
And it seems like we're well on track to hit the over, and here it is. And we got combined between both quarterbacks right now. They are a combined 35% passing at the moment.
Yeah, 8 of 23. That's it's not numbers that are going to get you many points. A rousing 3-0 lead currently held by Atlanta. Siege Falco back to return. Gets it up to the 36. And punt tracker on the board.
You know, if we go to halftime and there's still punts, only 6 first downs gained combined.
I was going to say, we've got double the punts than we do first downs in the ballgame.
It's insane. Look, and also, if this thing goes at halftime and we still got just nothing but kicks happening,
yeah,
we got to change the rules. Whoever can punt the ball more times wins.
Let's have a punt off,
But very, very good defense by both these squads so far.
You get 1 point for every 10 punting yards. Now, you lose yards on the returns, so the coverage units have to still do their jobs too. Because, if you boot the ball, like say you just really get it and you punt that thing 50 yards away from the line of scrimmage, but then they return it for 30, you only got 20 yards, which gets you only 2 points. It's not that good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let me get my pen and paper.
We may need to. We'll see.
The game inside of the game. That's what we're doing.
We'll keep it entertaining no matter what happens. Dynasty almost gets picked off. Wow. E.K. Vincent gets in front of it. Tavius Gordon in the area. I don't know where he was throwing that one.
Dude, it was right there. And Gordon kind of knocked it kind of away. And then E.J. Vincent had a chance at an interception, but kind of tried to swat it down so no opposing team, was able to pick it up. But we're 3rd and 10. Such a lack of rushing attack by both teams.
4 wide receiver look on 3rd down. Can Dynasty get a conversion? Steps up, throws over the middle, and it is almost taken away by Dexter Jackson himself.
It wasn't that long ago. He was the defensive player of the season for your Mexico City Aztecs.
I know.
And here he is, almost getting another.
Oh, he makes plays everywhere he goes. He's all over the field all the time. So
he was covering like he was the actual corner on that. It was amazing.
Yeah, he can pass rush, he can cover, he can run stuff, he can do anything that you need him to do. He can probably even punt, if I'm being honest. So, he does it all. We'll roll through the starting lineup defense for Fort Worth. It's the last set of the roster we haven't done yet as they get settled in on the Pine. Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, and Luther Gond on the defensive line. E.K. Vincent, Sonny Sky, and, of course, Dexter Jackson. At linebacker, Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Aiden Davis. At corner, and Ben Stone, along with Delaney Nash at safety. Enjoy your sideline beverages, gentlemen and lady. Sonny Sky. Ball is handed off to Stephen Hacker as he takes his 3rd carry of the ball game on the left side for 2. And Gerald, would you expect maybe a halftime adjustment to be a little bit more rushing out of Stephen Hacker? He's got 8 yards per carry so far.
Yeah, he's by far between both teams the best rusher for both teams right now. I mean, I do it, but we just and there's a flag.
A little face mask, I think, is Dane got twisted around. We'll see. That'll probably be incidental, even though they incidental face mask, even though they literally spun him.
I don't know. It's so I don't know what they see. They must see it opposite.
They don't see nothing.
If they try to hide that they pulled the face mask, we're going to call them for the big one.
Yeah.
But if they rip his head off, he wasn't hiding the fact that he was doing it. So
Dunhill,
let's give him credit for that.
Wide open, Robert Garrett Jr. over the middle. And one of those rare first downs is picked up.
Yeah, I do believe that would be first down number 7 combined.
Yeah, on the game, yeah.
Yeah, on the game, and that's almost half of how many punts we have. But it's just, I see Ron Dane back there in these formations, and it just does not it doesn't say hopefulness for the run game.
Dunhill hands it off to Alexander, who rolls over Grandpa and gets 7 on the play as we tick inside 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and you know what? Aaron Alexander has only a few pounds and is almost a foot shorter, but takes Grandpa and carries him for about 6.
Dane can't pick up anything there They'll actually lose a yard on a tackle for a loss. 3rd down and 4. Knocked down by Spicoli.
And this is a situation, I think, right here where you put Stephen Hacker in the backfield. They did it just right here. I can see him back there. And you give him a pitch. Get him in space, but you got to make sure you don't pitch it to the side, the wrong side.
Dunhill changing the play at the line.
Not at Bernard Smith.
They're going to pass. Dunhill throws up top.
What is he looking at?
A cheerleader? I'm not sure. James Jennings distracted. Ball catching him in the left ear. The left ear was unable to haul in the pass. Clock stopped with 2:10, and Atlanta's going to get a chance to add on some more points.
That was his opportunity to get only his 2nd catch of his career, and he's like, they never throw it to me anyway, so I'm not looking.
Punt drops down at the 18-yard line. Siege Falco, can he get some points on special teams? Nope, but he can pick up 10 on the return. Atlanta starts at their own 27-yard line. Gerald, 4 of 12, 57 yards. That's the stat line for Dynasty so far. We saw 2 pretty quick catches earlier on in the first quarter to Boo Chisholm, and nothing since. Leading receiver on the day, Boo Chisholm, 2 receptions. That is the most catches of anybody in the game so far with 37 yards. That's the most yards. And
he's nearly half toward the 85 he needs to get 15,000.
Dynasty tries to use the swing route, and it does not work as it was read like a book by Aiden Davis.
Aiden Davis almost could have picked that off if he was just a step sooner.
2 minutes to go in Puntapalooza. Here from the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. You're watching the Simulation Football Punting League on YouTube.
I feel like I should have an opportunity to go kick one.
At halftime, you can. There's a punt pass kick competition for the kids, and you can just put on one of them little hats with propellers on the top.
I would, but I'd rock that. By the way,
I know you would.
I'd have to put a hat on because they wouldn't take me as a bald 10-year-old.
Well, Caillou was bald. You ever seen that cartoon? Dynasty throws doing a little jump there and could not connect with high wind. 3rd and 13.
Man, I will beat some kids at pass, punt, and kick.
Man, I thought you were going somewhere totally different with that. I thought you were going to commit assault. I'm going to beat some kids, he says. That's the quote.
Yeah, maybe
put it on a T-shirt and make your fans wear it.
Maybe it was too long of a pause.
A little bit. 5 wide on 3rd and 13. Oh! Untouched into the backfield.
Jeff Duffy.
Yeah, Jeff Duffy doing Jeff Duffy things. There's a reason that he was the defensive player of the season back in season 14, 4-time All-Star. It's because of plays like that. Jeff Duffy, one of the players in the league that Matt Wilson feared the most. Him and Alex Dominguez, who now plays for Atlanta. 2 of the players that Matt, anytime we were going up against Queen City, that's where Jeff Duffy was at the time. Or obviously Florida or Alaska back in the day. That was something that Matt always talked about pregame. They're like, man, I'm gonna get bruises by these guys. Oh, look, another punt. Nice return by McGee. Gets it up into Atlanta territory. Still a minute 10. All 3 timeouts. Fort Worth, still a chance.
We need to convince Mr. Cameron Irvine to hire someone so we can spit off these Matt Wilson stats. How many times he was sacked by active players in the SFL?
I think he was sacked by Jeff Duffy a grand total of 486 times in a single game. There was one game, actually, I think it was the first game. Not the first game. It was at the first SFL convention. Alaska played Mexico City, and I remember Alex Dominguez looking particularly feral that game in multiple ways. If you saw
look at this!
Finally a pick. And we're going to get a
Miraculous.
touchdown as he's going to the house. He'll be untouched all the way into the end zone. A miraculous touchdown for the Swarm, and they extend their lead.
And Jay Miraculous just flipped the game up on side's head. The offense can't put up points. We can't run the ball. But I'm going to sit there and wait for them to throw a pass and step right in front of it. It was a mild overthrow, but he was right there where he needed to be and actually takes it to the house. And the way this game is going, this, as of right now, if this game if it was to repeat this type of process going into the second half, Atlanta is looking really good right now because Fort Worth does not have a running game.
Jay Miraculous with his first interception of the season, 35th on his 10-season career. Extra point by Sammy Steele is good. Atlanta up 10-0. Steele ready to kick this one off.
I did not see this game going in this direction.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure. I mean, Fort Worth just looked so incredibly dominant last week. Heck, they looked good in week 1 too. In Atlanta, I just didn't know what to make of them. If you remember our week 1 kickoff show, I talked about how Atlanta, they just have roller coaster season after roller coaster season. It goes from winning season to a 500 season to a losing season, back to 500, back to winning, and repeat. This is supposed to be a winning season if you follow that pattern, and they're winning in this one. Fort Worth just can't seem to do anything right.
Nope.
It's just not their night.
Look, and back to Atlanta. You're talking about the roller coaster season, season by season. If you think about it, being a division rival of theirs for a while,
you were,
right?
Yes,
in the East, they also have that type of ebb and flow in season as well. So It's almost like, hey, they're trying to find that consistency, and at some point mid-season they find their stride to either fall off or to actually start having an upward trajectory going into the playoffs.
They did start 1-1 last season as well, and then won in their Week 3 matchup. That one was against the LA Lycans so long ago. Timeout called by Fort Worth. But to your point, they started off last season with a loss, then they won a couple, then they lost one, then they won one, then they lost one, then they won a couple, then they lost a couple. I mean, it was just you never really know what to expect week to week.
Yeah, they just have a lot of ebbs and flows.
Dunhill, quick pass, one-handed jumping catch by Cade Stevens.
I don't understand.
I know exactly where you're about to go.
I don't understand. I feel like we have such bad clock management here by Fort Worth.
You just had momentum. Go with it.
And you're slowing down your momentum right here. Save those timeouts. You have a little bit. You have some time. You're approaching midfield right here.
Yeah.
I think the goal, for them is to at least get 3 out of this and close it to 1-score game. And I do think when you call that timeout, you're actually stopping your momentum.
Bernard Smith showing blitz. He does blitz, picked up. Dunhill throws, and a jumping catch over the top. Henry McGee climbs the ladder, and, a player like that, a second-season player coming over against his old team, that's a nice hands catch. Brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23. I like seeing some of the young players making some of those spectacular catches, and it's not always the veterans with the one-handed catch, climbing the ladder, catching it over his old teammate.
The Miners have some very skilled players at that level as well.
Sure do. Oh, quick pass there. And, hey, speaking of jumping one-handed catches by wily old veteran Stephen Hacker.
It's the tape on the fingers.
Dunhill under center, 2 wide receivers right, spikes the ball, stops the clock, frustrates Gerald yet again.
Well, I don't understand. Like, you wasted your timeouts on consecutive plays, right? And now you have to get yourself in a situation. You're itching cord, close to field goal range. But guess what? You're not in field goal range yet. And what if it comes down to you need it? You get tackled in bounds. You don't have any timeouts. You could at least save just one.
Yeah. And time's not on their side as they get precariously close to running out of time here. Inside 20 seconds now, 3rd down and 1. See if they're going to go for the pass. Down the left side and incomplete. Oh, I saw McGee get past the defender. Wasn't sure if there was a safety over there. And that incomplete pass saves them. If they had actually caught that, I don't know if they could have gotten their field goal unit out on time. But now with the incompletion, they will be able to attempt a 43-yarder and at least get some points on the board before the half.
Yeah, and they would have actually had to try and spike it, and I was surprised they didn't try to spike it after that last catch before that last play.
Yeah, but then it would have made it 4th and 1, but then you could have just kicked it. I don't know. I could see it either way there. 9 plays, 53 yards. At least they finally get some points on the board. But our streak is broken, though, Gerald. We did have a drive that ended in something other than a kick. So, Dre Miraculous, shame on you. We had a thing going.
We did.
Ruined.
Why does anybody want to win this? What was a masterpiece?
That's all right. Every drive's been a kick or a pick. At least they rhyme. Teach Falco trying to ruin it with a kick return for a touchdown. Can't do that. 5 seconds to go. Probably see a handoff. Send it to the locker room and regroup. Fort Worth, if you're just joining us, missing Jay-Z Bacon in this one, injured on the second carry of the game for Bacon. And the injury will keep him out for the duration of the ball game. We've seen some runs by Stephen Hacker. We've seen some more of Aaron Alexander than we usually get to see. And, of course, the backup Ron Dane. Dynasty gets it down to BDG Hollywood. That brings us to the half.
And it's fitting how the last play of the half was for negative yardage.
Yeah, that's the way this ball game goes. 10-3 is your score at the half. Atlanta Swarm winning here at home over the 2-0 Fort Worth Toros. We'll take a look at the halftime stats and some snapshots from the first half. Gerald, your thoughts on this wacky one so far?
Well, it's not the game we all thought, but it's a really nice defensive battle, right? Where we have, both quarterbacks, getting under, roughly 40% passing. So the passing game isn't working. The run game isn't working. But what is working is apparently their ability to stop the other opponent from moving the ball. And Atlanta is on the winning side of that because they got an interception, which they returned for a touchdown. And I want to give the, player at a half to both of these punters because they're kicking their behinds off. And that's where the true game in the game is taking place.
Jay Miraculous gets the player of the half from Berman anyway. Let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full Swift helmet, Swifties, Travis Kelce, Lawrence Taylor,
Holmes,
Johnson with the O.
we have a
Simpson, Aaron Rodgers. Goodness.
Brady.
Depend on who has probably seen every possible offensive play. It's probably Grandpa Shine getting out there. The other one is Eddie Gage, but he don't get credit in my book because I'm sure Grandpa Shine got a pick six. Eddie doesn't.
A stat that will never die. Ball is handed off to Dane. Picks up a gain of 4, 3rd down and 3. 3rd down efficiency through the first half. Not great by either of these teams. In fact, Atlanta unable to convert a single 3rd down. Meanwhile, Fort Worth, who's got a 3rd down now, 1 of 10. And that will still be the only 3rd down they've converted as Grandpa stops him after a gain of 1.
Yeah, he just pops right in there and then stops this drive early, right? Just when you think Fort Worth may have went to the halftime and realized, hey, we got to do something a little bit different on offense. But guess what? They're just not doing it. And can you believe this is 1 for 19 combined?
Yeah.
Third down efficiency. That is insane.
Yeah, through a whole half for a team like Atlanta to not even be able to convert a single one. Fort Worth, who put up 45 points last week. They've got one field goal and one of 11 on third down conversions. 8 of 7 on, or excuse me, not 8 of 7. 8 punts for Fort Worth. 7 punts for Atlanta. Punt-a-palooza. We'll see if we hit the over. What I said it at 22, and you went with the over.
Yeah, we just need 8 more. We just need 8 more. We had 14 in the first half.
Maybe I was. I don't know. I guess I wasn't. I didn't go high enough. I don't know. All right, 2nd down and 7. Dynasty 6 of 15, 52 yards in the first half. It's not even Hollywood. That was Jonathan Reese with the carry. Gerald, we have 15 total punts so far in this ball game, and if you do the maths, there's only 13 points. We have more punts than points.
I know. That's why we had to convert the punt yardage to points.
The punt yardage to points. That would have definitely given us a little bit better score.
I almost want to take the time and figure it out right now. Just figure out who would be winning.
You've got time. Like we don't really need some analysis right now.
Here comes punt number 16. So
Delaney Nash breaks that one up.
But look, and we could do it probably pretty quick because our wonderful stats, live stats with, Rochelle Colston and Ron Haynes is tracking these net punt yardages out of it all. So we could quickly understand and figure out who is actually winning this game.
Who's winning Punt-a-palooza? Hey, are you liking this game so far? I don't know how many likes we have on the video, but it's not enough. Listen, if you came here for a football game, maybe you're not entertained. If you came here for Punt Fest 2024, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you got your notifications on so you don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action. Help the channel grow through your support. Dunhill, deep drop pass over the middle. That one's caught. Henry McGee picks up 9.
Yeah, being able to pick up yards like that on first down is really good because you're limited in the running back position right now and the quality of talent that you have, and are coming out in a really heavy set. This is a formation I am not in favor of for Fort Worth without J.C. Bacon.
Yeah, not without Bacon for sure, as that would be Bacon with the carry, and instead I believe that went to Alexander. But either way, it went into the waiting arms of Grandpa Shine and no gain.
Yeah, and what we did, we mentioned in the Matt Wilson kickoff show that Aquana Shine and Bernard Smith have been extremely, good for this Atlanta defense, and they're actually showing it right here.
And that was actually Ron Dane with the carry, and he carries that one again. This time actually does pick up the first down, their second first down pickup of the ball game.
I really do think right here, if Atlanta at 10-3 right now, the way the game flow is going, if they're able to get another touchdown, I do think they're probably going to seal the deal.
Ball is handed off to Alexander. Shine with the tackle. He is approaching double-digit tackles on the day. Seems to be involved with every play we mentioned so far. Dane lined up in the backfield once again.
He's playing at that Hall of Fame level that he deserves to be.
Dunhill, that one's complete. Jay Miraculous with the tackle, 3rd and inches.
It's like, I don't know, it's almost like these two squads offensively are not trying to go too big because they don't want to mess up at all, right? They don't want to chance it because they don't want to make a mistake, but I also think it's actually holding them back.
12 completions to 7 different targets tonight on 27 different passing attempts. Dane picks up the inches he needed, moves the chains again. So we've got more first downs on this drive alone than they had in the entire ball game through the first 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, and I think they found a formula, right? Like throw the ball a couple of times, get them a little bit further down the field
Yeah.
and make it really shorten two and shorten thirds.
Dunhill with the completion right at the line of scrimmage, but Hacker able to turn it upfield just enough to pick up 5, sets them up with a second and manageable.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I do think over the course of his career, Stephen Hacker has been, in my opinion, by far the toughest wide receiver to tackle.
Yeah, it's annoying when you play him too.
Oh, I know.
And you watch your defenders who usually are like lights out at tackling and just getting dragged along. Dane with his best carry of the game. That one goes for about 8 yards or so. Another first down pickup, and in this drive, finally they're putting some things together.
Yeah, and they're actually getting these timely runs and picking up the yardage that they need, right? That was, I do believe, it was Dane's longest run of the game. Look at these yardage, right?
The yardage and the scoreboard tells 2 different stories.
I know. They even got 100 total yards. They even got 80 by Atlanta.
Dunhill
They're winning.
throws to Alexander, who works his way up the sideline. Way to stay in bounds, big fella. Picks up 6.
Look, and they are utilizing now. The first drive, maybe they went to the sideline, got yelled at by the coach. Was like, look, you guys are not executing what we talked about at halftime. We got to change it up. On their second drive right here, guess what they're doing? They're executing a lot more and look like they've actually running a different type of flow with different type of plays on offense on the second drive of the half.
That play looked like it was over before it began. Grandpa Shine gets another tackle for a loss. 3rd down and 5, and I just realized I called a 5'8" guy big fella.
Yeah, he's far from big.
Yeah. Well, he got 6 yards. Anywho, Dunhill rolls out right once again, looks, fires down the right sideline, gets it to Hacker, gets another first down, and they're in scoring range again.
You know, and that's a veteran wide receiver and Stephen Hacker finding a way to get open, because what he does, he runs toward the sideline and realizes, hey, he's rolling out. We're running out of time. I'm running toward the sideline. Let me cut back in and get separation from the DB, and he does it. And with a really good quarterback of Marcus Dunhill, he's smart enough to know, that where his wide receivers are going to be in, a broken type play in situation, and he finds them open and hits him.
1st and 10 from the 24, short drop. Dunhill throws over the middle, hits McGee. 1st down and goal.
Very good route run by Henry McGee right there. Perfect timing by Marcus Dunhill to hit him in stride just behind the corner, just behind the linebacker as well, but right in front of the safety.
Fort Worth looking like they might be able to find the end zone for the first time in this ball game and potentially tie this one up.
And this is where I would like to see more Aaron Alexander, get your tight end involved, and also do swing passes.
Dunhill out left.
block.
13th play of the drive, fires end zone, incomplete. McGee had an opportunity to score a touchdown on his old team, but couldn't get it done. 2nd and goal.
Henry McGee let it hit off his shoulder. He was more worried about keeping his feet in than keeping his eye on the ball. That was a missed opportunity for Fort Worth right there on the first attempt with goal to go.
2 receivers out right, empty to the bottom. Flip backs in the backfield. Dunhill right, throws right, end zone. Cade Stevens can't haul it in. 3rd and goal.
And this gets a little dicey right there. I know they're kicking themselves kicking themselves, especially on that first down play where they had an opportunity to get a touchdown there, and now it's 3rd down, and Atlanta know that they're going to be passing, so Dunhill's got to be very careful and very selective about where he throws the ball.
Ooh, keep an eye on Robert Garrett Jr. just moved up top. Only 2 defenders up there. You got 3 good receiving targets. Dunhill says, I'm just going to run
Is he going to do
into
it?
the end zone. No,
Oh, my
God. Oh, Marcus, why? 4th and goal.
He could have dove the other way, and very good challenge right here by Fort Worth. I don't think they're going to win it.
Well,
But
let's take a
man.
retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Gerald, I don't think they're going to get it either.
No, but if it was baseball, you slide feet first, you safe, and you score. But guess what? That's not what happened.
Well, if it was lacrosse, I don't think it would matter at all. And if it was pro bowling, it's not baseball, Gerald. Let's see what they say. The ruling on the field stands. Yeah, I don't.
You have to go for it here.
I almost feel like that was just frustration by the coach. Like he just wanted that so bad. He's like, man, he was probably just mad that Dunhill didn't just. He didn't even have to jump. Just run in. Just run in.
Well, he saw the moose coming for his head, and I would not kick it right here. I don't know why we're doing this.
I don't know.
I say we, but Fort Worth.
Yeah, you don't play. It's a division rival, man. Field goal is up and good, and Fort Worth cuts into Atlanta's lead, now trailing 10-6 after a 16-play drive that took more than half the quarter. Gerald, you got to get a touchdown. I know that's the point you were trying to make. 16 plays, 5.5 minutes invested. You're on the 1-inch line.
They haven't gotten that forever. That's the first time.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of the opportunities you got. That was your first opportunity inside the goal-to-go situation. Listen, Aaron Alexander could have punched. Let me ask you this. If J.Z. Bacon was not injured, would they have gone for that?
I think they would. But also, if J.Z. Bacon was not injured, I do think that we're looking at a different type of ball game now. So, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe they were feeding into our stuff. We just want picks and kicks. And we've gotten it all so far.
We have. We have indeed. Pure 2K12 in the chat, who happens to be a one Marcus Dunhill, says, Marcus will Marcus when you least expect it.
He Marcus.
BDG Hollywood back onto the field, along with Brian Dynasty and company. Dynasty to throw. Down to the bottom, and that one is actually caught by Siege Falco. I think he got face masked on the way down. They're going to say pass interference. I thought maybe he got ripped down, but Atlanta, they'll actually accept that penalty. It negates the reception. Must have given him an extra yard as we take a peek at it here.
I guess because the pass interference happened 2 yards on the north.
Bumped it, moved back.
Further down.
I don't know what direction we're facing right now. East, west, I can't see.
We're inside.
We're in the hive. There's bees everywhere.
Is it bees or is it what they call themselves? The murder hornets. Murder hornets.
Murder?
Murder. With an A, I think.
Murder.
Murder. I don't know. They're bugs.
Hollywood gets a 3-yard pickup. Remember back in 2020? That was one heck of a year, wasn't it? When it's like, the year starts off nice, and then all of a sudden gets to be March, and it's like, oh, global pandemic. Let's just shut the whole world down. And, then just when you think, okay, well, we're starting to get into the rhythm here. We can deal with this whole COVID thing. All of a sudden, Murder Hornets came out of, I don't know, someone's storybook and became a thing. Anyway, I'm off track. Siege Falco.
That year was a real-life Jumanji.
Yeah. Yeah, like someone was playing Jumanji and they were losing.
Yeah. Somebody needs to slap them people.
I agree.
It's kids.
Atlanta's still looking for their first down. Can they get it here? Hollywood pushes, gets the first down. Finally, 26 seconds to go in the third quarter, and they have now achieved a first down.
So I wonder if Atlanta's going to, run themselves another play here. They're going to let it tick down to the fourth quarter so we can hear Chris Curtis's wonderful voice.
I miss him too.
But it looks like they are actually going to run one more play before the end of this quarter.
We'll see. I'm not sure if Iwind will get up to the top in time. And nope, you were wrong. Again.
They too are waiting on Chris Curtis.
3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes to go. How many more punts will there be? How many more first downs will there be? Will there be any more scoring? We'll find out after this. 10-6. We'll be back.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back for the start of the fourth quarter. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston on stats, Cameron Irvine on production. An updated look at the team's stats. Again, Atlanta in the lead. You wouldn't believe it from the stat line. Pump fake by Dynasty and then ripped to the ground and sacked. Luther Gond made that first contact, and Down to the ground he goes.
Yeah, and Jerry D, it was a father-son affair right there as they both hit Dynasty to bring him to the ground. You know, son got there first and Luther gone. Father comes right behind and helps bring down Dynasty to force a second and very long.
Dynasty to throw. Pass was broken up. As he tried to release it, 3rd down and 15.
Jesus, and here we are. Just when we thought Atlanta was getting themselves in a situation to put more points on the board, they've gone backwards since the start of the 4th quarter here. 2 straight plays.
5 wide, 3rd and long. Dynasty throws. Gets some of the yards he needs, but not all of it. 4th down and 7.
Luther Gahn disposed of the guard extremely quick and was in Dynasty's face, and he had to rush to throw. Still got it off and got positive yards, but guess what? Another kick is happening.
Ken Miller trying to coffin corner this one. Brings it down at the 14, up to the 16. Robert Garrett Jr. with 46 yards tonight. That rousing stat line, Gerald, is the most by any running back, wide receiver, or tight end tonight. And that counts receiving yards, rushing yards, you name it. You know who does have the most yards?
The most teams.
I'll tell you who has the most yards. Amelia Rose and Ken Miller, the punters, combining for hundreds of yards. Aaron Alexander going the wrong way, and we get our first chaw of the ball game.
Ooh, that was such... It just got in there so quick. And it had lucky the handoff was made.
2nd and 12. Deep drop for Dunhill. Pressure right there in his face. And the top receiving target of the ball game, RG Jr.
Yeah, and Robert Garrett Jr. Look, and them getting Cowboy involved, and maybe that's their ticket to moving it, keeping it moving down the field. But here they are coming out in a heavy set, which I have not been a favor of without J.Z. Bacon.
Dunhill. Oh, no! Throws this one away. I don't know who he was even throwing it to, but Jeff Spicoli's the one that's going to take advantage of it. He gets the pick as he rolls to the ground, and Atlanta in prime scoring position now.
Yeah, and we both had a double Matt Wilson moment with the oh no.
We summoned him.
And here they are. Atlanta is right on the edge of the red zone, and that is not what Fort Worth needed. Matt Wilson.
He'd be proud of us right now.
Very much so. In tandem.
They both just said, oh no. Jeff Spicoli averaging 1 pick per season, per season he's played. That was his 5th here in his 5th season. Fort Worth now with 2 turnovers. Dynasty throws with pressure on its way, and that one is complete. Why not? Erlich gets the catch. Gerald, these quarterbacks are terrifying me. They see pressure, and instead of, sometimes it's better just to take the sack. They're just throwing it, and it's like, well, boo down there somewhere, and just chucks it.
Look, and we go back to Matt Wilson. He was no stranger of taking a sack. He ducks all the time.
Well, yeah, but when he threw a duck, it wasn't because he was about to take a sack. That's just how he threw. Ball would go end over end like a punt.
Left-handed with gloves on. Something quite spectacular. I don't think I've seen it since.
Third down and 1. Split backs. They hand this one off. Bottled up behind the line and going absolutely nowhere.
Luther Gahn.
Big Luther Gahn with the stop, 4th and 2, and I guess Atlanta will extend their lead with a field goal try.
Continuing the picks and kick game. Here we are with another kick about to happen, but it's about as best that Fort Worth could have hoped for right here in terms of allowing them to score points. Is only 3. It still keeps it a 1-score game. Quick
3 and out, but Atlanta does capitalize on points off the turnover. And for Jeff Spicoli, he's obviously an outside linebacker on the Atlanta Swarm. He's also on the SFL developmental team, and being on the dev team, and getting that rolling interception that he got actually earns him a $250,000 bonus towards progressions for that pick.
What can I get $250,000 for doing? Nothing?
Well, nothing legal.
But, hey, look, credit to him for making that pick and allowing his team to get 3 more points.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to you, young man.
Makes it a touchdown game once again. Aaron Alexander bottled up at the line. Brought down by big number 98.
Dude had like a huge, neck roll.
Yeah. Huge belly, too. Sean Burton, no offense. I mean, I'm not fat shaming the guy. He was a big fella. Dunhill deep down the left side. Climbing the ladder is Henry McGee. Gets another first down for Fort Worth in these last 2 drives. They've finally been able to put some things together, and they're getting first downs.
And at this stage in the game, right, Dunhill was realizing that he's going to have to take a little bit more control of the offense and keep the ball in his hands to find the proper guys to throw the ball to. So,
split backs now in the backfield. Dunhill under pressure again and throws it wildly across the middle. My heart's skipping a beat.
I don't know where that was going. There
I don't
was so
know.
much chaos. I just feel
Dunhill
like
just said, I just don't want to hear anymore.
I feel like this game has been so chaotic in a beautiful, disastrous type of way.
It's like watching a car crash. Pieces flying everywhere. Just absolute chaos and mayhem. People getting hurt. But for some reason, it's entertaining.
Oh!
Cade Stevens gets a big catch and runs away with it down the field. Gets it into Atlanta territory, and that's our breakaway play of the game, brought to you by Breaks GPT, sports memorabilia breakers and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might get. Check them out at breaksgpt.com. And Gerald, I know you weren't there for that part of the convention when they were on site and did some of their breaks live for us right there and gave away a whole bunch of sports memorabilia. It's pretty cool system. 24-yard reception by Cade Stevens, followed by a 6-yard run from Aaron Alexander, 2nd down and 4.
I wonder if I could negotiate with Breaks GPT that I only want New Orleans Saints player stuff.
Of course, yeah. You can pay them their money, and then when they open something and it's not who you want, they just keep your money and the stuff. Cade Stevens' 25-yard catch tonight is the longest offensive play of the ball game, and that is why he won our breakaway player of the game. Usually I'd wait for a longer play, but at this stage here in the 4th quarter, it was time to shell that one out.
But we've actually had a couple of field goal kicks that have been longer than that.
Double.
41 and
not double.
41 and 46.
Yeah, the math was not good at that point. 3rd down. Dunhill. Behind Stevens again. 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. And down a touchdown with 4.5 on the clock. Fort Worth looking to get a touchdown on the board to get this thing tied up.
Right, and as they start getting closer now, they are got themselves inside the red zone and are able to still get a first down right here. And this is where I am going to start thinking that, hey, they can start utilizing a little more Aaron Alexander as they start inching closer, because I don't think Ron Dane is going to give you the yards on the ground that you're looking for.
Dunhill's going to keep it to the air. Throws up
there
top.
He is.
Gets it to Robert Garrett Jr. right on cue. 1st down and goal from the 3.
Yeah, and here we are. Now, what do we do now that we're right here at the 3, inside the 5, and they are actually got 4 chances to put some points on the board?
Yeah.
I do think they're going to be inside the 2 right here. Now, what do we do? Do we give it to Aaron Alexander? Do we depend on Ron Dane? Or do we even put Stephen Hacker back there to potentially run the ball?
Or does Dunhill throw it? We'll see. Dunhill under center with 3 in the backfield. He will pass. Throws end zone. Nearly picked. Oh, gosh. Jeff Spicoli. He wants another $250K. Couldn't haul that one in.
He was right there, too, and they tried to hit, their backup tight end and James Jennings right there. But Spicoli got in the way and knocked it down. I don't like on 1st down right there. I feel like that was a wasted down with you throwing the ball there.
2nd down and goal. Will they stick to that formula?
He's changing the play.
Will they run it? They'll send Hacker up on the line. They will hand this one off. Diving into the end zone. Touchdown for Ron Dane. And the Fort Worth Toros are an extra point away from tying this wacky ball game up.
It's not quite what we wanted in the picks and kicks game, but it's exactly what Fort Worth wanted and needed right there, giving it to Ron Dane. Credit to Marcus Dunhill for changing the play and noticing what he's seeing on defense, giving it to him, and Dane jumps it in from 1 yard away. They're pending this extra point to tie this game up.
Yeah, chances are good. There was another pass play called, and now after that diving run, 10 plays, 80 yards, 3 minutes off the clock. They get the touchdown. They get the extra point. They get this one tied up. But now Atlanta, can they get things going on offense and at least get down into Sammy Steele field goal range? Week 3 continues tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in Nashville for the Tempo's home opener, fresh off their convention upset win at D.C. Plus, we've got Arizona, Chicago, Indianapolis, Mexico City, go Aztecs, and Motor City, Lexington. It's another doubleheader SFL Saturday right here on SFL YouTube. I can't wait for tomorrow, and it's not even just because of the Aztecs game. There's a lot of great ones. It's a good slate this weekend.
Very, very good.
Triple yardage. Look at that. Atlanta finally passing the 100-yard threshold.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Siege Falco picking up 10. And time's on their side. They honestly, not only is time on their side, they want to move slow and methodical on this drive.
Yeah, because they want to use as much time as they can and actually get themselves in the field goal range, which they haven't gotten themselves there. Their defense got them there, early on in the second half, and actually they put up another 3 points, but they have not gotten anywhere near the end zone in a good long while.
Dynasty throws into coverage. That one's incomplete. Sammy Steele's long on the season so far, 43 yards. He's 7 of 7 now on the season. He's hit them from longer than 43.
I think he's actually had himself a 46
And I was going to say he might actually have longer than 43
tonight
on the season this evening. So interested to see how close they can get to field goal range here. Dynasty throws. That one is complete to medium rare. He gets the first down, 3 minutes and rolling. And still, they're not going to be in any sort of hurry right now.
No, and I wouldn't either, right? And they're actually doing it right. It seems like every play is, I don't know, it's like makes you hold your breath. Like there's something crazy or strange is going to happen right here, but they're doing it right? They're just slowly moving down the field, letting the clock tick away.
If they bomb it to Chisholm right here, they'd take the lead if he got in the end zone and he passed 15,000 yards. Just saying. Mitchell O'Brien picks up 6 on the ground.
I actually think that run right there was by far the best run play call I have seen from Atlanta. I know it just went for 6, but it was something the defense was not expecting because they have not run the ball, like that at all in this game, and they did it with success right there.
Dynasty hands it off. Hollywood. He'll pick up enough for a first down as we approach the 2-minute warning in a tie ball game. Gerald, this game was not really looking like it was going to be necessarily exciting unless you like punts earlier on, but here we are, 2 minutes to go and all tied up.
Yeah, and it went from chaotic to picks and kicks up until the last drive where we got a touchdown in there, and here we are in a situation where we could have a fantastic finish.
About 10 yards from field goal range, 42 yards from the end zone, 2 minutes from the end of the ball game. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Week 3 kickoff on Friday night. Oh, gotta love it.
And this is shaping up to be a one-score game no matter how we shake it.
Dynasty drops back, looks, fires. Oh my God! And it's picked off! Aiden Davis to the 40, to the 30, the 20, the 10, and Fort Worth takes the lead.
And Fort Worth says they're talking about picks and kicks, and we're going to get a pick and a 6 along with all the kicks that we've done this game and actually take the game over and take the lead.
Wow, what a turn of events. Fort Worth has just been trying to claw their way back into this game. Finally finally started to get things turned around in the second half, started getting first downs, finally got down into scoring range, got a field goal, got back into scoring range, got a touchdown, and now with a pick six, minute 49 on the clock, and they're about to have a 20-13 lead. That is truly incredible. Bryant Dynasty, his only job was to take care of that football. They could have simply gotten down in field goal range and kicked a game winner. That would have actually earned Sammy Steele some progression bonus dollars. But now they need a touchdown to get this thing tied back up. Kick taken out of the end zone by Siege Falco.
Oh, what?
Tries to get around to the outside, gets face masked for his effort.
Tack on more.
Yeah, but, you know, Atlanta's...
Oh, it's 15. It's a...
Oh, the personal foul variety.
Wow, they're going to get close to midfield.
Yep, absolutely. That one's all the way up at the 48-yard line. So, big mistake by Fort Worth Special Teams unit. Can Atlanta capitalize? Can we get this game sent to overtime and get some free football to get Friday night going?
I don't know if I want this game to end the way the chaos has ensued, especially
Triple
in this
overtime. That's what we need. What am I even asking for right now? Dynasty to throw, and that one is batted down by Jeff Duffy. Not just good at making tackles and sacks, he's good at being a wall too.
Yeah, look, and speaking of sacks from Jeff Duffy, he is actually, I believe he's number 3 overall of all time in sacks for a defensive player.
Minute 41 to go.
Number 4, actually.
We were close. Dynasty over the top.
Ooh, what a catch.
Yeah. Hauled in. Good for a first down. Hushin Muhammad with the catch.
Muhammad coming in the clutch. Like, who is this guy? We can't get anybody to catch a ball.
He literally, I saw him. He just put his jersey on. He was just sitting there eating chips.
We need somebody jumping.
Yeah. Yo, man, get your jersey on, get out there. All right, I guess he got a catch. Dynasty over the middle again. Meteor Man Chisholm gets the catch, gets the first down. Timeout called. Gerald flipping out in the booth. He hates timeouts. He wants to bring them all to the end of the game.
Well, the way that Fort Worth has been playing, Fort Worth, you don't need to give them time. If you score too soon here, you give them too much time to do it. So just do it and use your timeout smartly.
Amelia Rose has a good leg too. She can kick field goals from 50 if she needs to take the lead at the end. First, they still have to score. So Fox Highwind gets a catch. Final timeout called. No more timeouts for Atlanta. Fort Worth still has 2. They lost one earlier on to a frustration challenge, I'll call it, when Marcus Dunhill slid down just a wee bit shy of the goal line. So 2 timeouts for Fort Worth, none for the Swarm. Dynasty throws, gets it out to Arlette. First and goal from the 9, minute 20. Do they spike it? Do they just go for it? Dynasty, he's going to go for it. Dynasty looking, fires towards the end zone, incomplete. Right into the chest of Davis, who just had the pick 6.
That was a bad choice of pass right there. He had the time. I think he felt like he was being rushed, but for once, the offensive line held up and gave Dynasty enough time to be able to find somebody open, and he made a bad choice. Luckily for Atlanta, it fell to the turf.
Minute 13 to go. Second down and goal. Dynasty looks, throws over the middle, caught. Third and goal from the half-yard line.
Boot Chisholm.
Dynasty looks, fires, end zone nearly picked. And it's 4th down and goal, and they have to go for it.
I would have actually tried to run it there. I would have just got in the huddle, came out because you have a lot of time. I was not coming out in that. You were sitting right there inside the 1.
Ben Stone.
You could have had Dynasty just jump over the pile or something.
Or, I don't know, the all-time leading rusher in SFL history, BDG Hollywood. He's right there. What do? Dynasty. From the half-yard line, he will throws end zone, and it's incomplete, and the Toros are going to come away with the win.
Wow, they had such an opportunity. I still would have ran it. You spread them out right there. You hand it to BDG, and I think you score with him being untouched. Instead, you throw it in traffic, in an area where a couple of wide receivers were crossing. Too many DBs were in the way and is able to fall to the turf. But Fort Worth has to run a play here, and we know that they have not had success running the football at all. They are right in their, in their own goal line. So we're going to see how they're going to be able to handle it. Look for Aquana Shine to make a play here.
That's true. It's not over. Fort Worth can't kneel this down. Bottled up in the end zone. He gets out of the end zone, and that will be the ball game. Now just one kneel down away. Aquana Shine had an opportunity to potentially get the safety and get that ball back, but it was not to be. 2nd down and 6 with the clock rolling. We will see Marcus Dunhill take the knee, and Gerald, what a way for Fort Worth to just stampede their way back into this one. They looked like they were down and out for the count ever since Bacon went down on the second play, and not going to see a kneel down. That's interesting, but
I don't know why they're doing this.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting, because Wacky Friday. Let's see what they do, and good thing he didn't fumble, Mr. Curtis Martin. But Gerald, that's the final. Fort Worth gets the win, goes to 3-0, 20-13 over Atlanta. As we head to take a final look at the stats, your final thoughts on this wild ball game.
Fort Worth didn't do it the way they wanted to do it, but they lost a key part of their offense, and guess what they did? They still put up a lot of yards. Even the rushing yards were there. It took them a while to get it going. They were just shy of 100 yards, but guess what? Their defense stepped up and kept them in the game. They forced field goals when they were down there. They allowed at Atlanta only 2 field goals on the day, and Atlanta's only touchdown actually came from the pick 6 variety by their defense. Credit to Fort Worth's defense. They grinded it out. The offense still grinded until they got themselves in a situation to tie the ball game. Then their defense stepped up and got the pick 6 and the touchdown they needed to get the win.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such a crazy game. I mean, all those punts to start the game off, and to end up coming back and getting back into it. Definitely did not see that one coming. As we watch that game play out. So Fort Worth will improve to 3-0 on the season. Atlanta will fall to 1-2. Next up for the Toros, they head to the bye week, and then in week 5, they will take on the currently 1-1 Albuquerque Adams Saturday, August 10th at 9 p.m. For Atlanta, in week 4, they will take on the 0-1 Motor City V8s on Friday, August 2nd. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Final score in this one, Fort Worth gets the win, 20-13. For Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who is always with us in spirit on every call, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy, and everybody have yourself a great night.